talk about how does it feel to work at an Amazon, not fulfillment center, which a lot of you guys are like, that's where people work, right? But we're going to talk about how does it feel to work at an Amazon sort center. And so, is working at a Amazon sort center bad or good? And for working there for almost 4 years, my honest opinion, so what a sort center is it a bad place to work? I don't really think it's as bad as the fulfillment centers, because I hear some nightmare ass stories for people who work there. So the difference between a fulfillment center is, fulfillment centers, you're packaging all the merchandise that people are ordering. They order like a PlayStation, Xbox, TV, Bluetooth headphones, whatever it is, they're boxing it up and sending it out. So you might be getting a little package with like little earbuds like this, and they will package it up, right? Working for Amazon is all about the volume. So they have high expectation of their employees. So they could say, you work in this department, you have to scan 500 items an hour. And you go, what, 10 hours? That's a lot, right? So a sort center is, we unload the big rig trucks, right? And the packages are already filled. So we're the last spot before the package goes to the UPS, to the post office, and to the customer. So we're basically just scanning it in, so when the post office comes, they pick up the package and then it gets shipped right out. So what I mean by you're a full-time employee but you get part-time hours, you could work anywhere from Monday through Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or like I do, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And here's the thing, your shift will say like 8:30 to 12:30, right? But you might not even work till 12:30. You might get off at 1:30. You might get off at 11:30, because they also do 3-hour shifts, or 4-hour shifts, or 5-hour shifts. The way you could get full time is if you pick up extra shifts, which the company will text you and say, hey, we need X amount of associates to work this shift. Are you available to come in? And you don't have to say yes or no, because it's all done through a app. So you could sit on the app and pick up 4-hour shift, like 4 shifts, so you could get your full-time hours. You might be thinking, oh, I'm going to get like a 40-hour paycheck. That's not necessarily true, because if the first shift does 3 hours, let's say, then the second shift does 3 hours, that's only 6 hours. So you do 6. So some days you might be doing 8 hours, because one shift does 5, one shift does 3. So it's never a consistent thing at the sort centers. You don't have a consistent 40-hour work week, or a 32-hour work week, or a 25-hour work week. You don't. So basically, you never know one day to the next what your paycheck's going to be. You don't know. What they like to do is send out a text message allowing you to pick up those extra shifts, but what they do tell you is, hey, we'll double your pay if you pick up these extra shifts. And you're like, excuse me? And they will double your pay sometimes. Sometimes if you're getting paid like $17 an hour, they'll double your pay. So now for those weekend shifts or those late hour shifts, you're making $39 an hour. And you're like, damn. But the crazy part is, you only might work 3 hours at $39 an hour, so you're not really making as much money as you think you would if you're doing like a full 8-hour day. But the money is good when you can pick up those extra hours, especially during peak season and major holiday seasons where they have a holiday rush. But I will say, it's very easy work. At least it's tedious work, basically, because you are doing warehouse work. So you got to realize there's going to be a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of monotonous work, doing the same things consistently for years. You have the ability to go up, like if you want to be a PA, which is a process assistant, which is, I guess you would call like a department manager or assistant manager, and they get paid like $17 an hour. So they're making pretty decent money, right? I do like $17.60 an hour because I've been there so long. But like I said, it's never the consistent full-time hours, so you never know one day from the next if you're going to be getting that full-time paycheck, that 35 hours or whatever. So a lot of times you have to work these crazy weird hours into the middle of the night to pick up these extra hours so you can actually get your 40 hours. And a lot of people where I work, they have side hustles like they do Uber Eats, or they do the grocery pickup. So they have like their wife or their girlfriend, whatever, is doing like this, doing a job. They have a job and they're making their money that way. Because I'll tell you this, guys, if it was just one paycheck and you're living off where I work, you wouldn't be able to survive. Where maybe one week you make $500, the next week you make $200, or the next week you make $150. And I will tell you this, a lot of people where I work say it's very monotonous, very boring. The only thing that it makes it worthwhile is the coworkers, and the coworkers make it a little bit fun. But other than that, I just don't see it as like a place for a lot of people, because they have an extreme turnaround rate, like 80%. And I'm not saying the turnaround rate is super high because the job is super tough or it's hardcore or you work hard, which you do work hard. Just be prepared that you're going to be in there sweating bullets because there's no air conditioning. You go, what? No air conditioning. They have big ass fans in the warehouse, so when you're in the warehouse, you just have big ass fans that are spinning around, keeping the place cool. But like I said, is it a place that I would recommend a lot of people work in? I mean, they have good 401k, they have stocks that are phenomenal, they have decent medical, but I would prefer, if you guys were like, yeah, I'll work there, work the full-time fulfillment center. It might be hard, it might be tough, but the money isn't bad. For what you're doing, you can't even get money like that anywhere else. Walmart doesn't pay that, UPS doesn't pay that, most warehouses don't pay what Amazon does. So if you can stick through the grind and the sweat and all that crap, then you're gonna do just fine. But for myself, I don't think it's too terrible. Like I said, I've been there since 2017 and I've never had any issues where I thought the job was overly too hard or I was getting worked too hard. I just think the non-consistent hours is catching up to me. But with that being said, guys, I will talk to you guys in the next one. I just want to make this video because I think there's a lot of people out there that would be interested in Amazon, but they don't realize there's a difference between a sort center and a fulfillment center. But the main difference is during a holiday like Christmas or peak season, full-time fulfillment centers, they're mandatory overtime. So you're mandatory to work those extra hours. You're mandatory to work 50 hours a week. It's mandatory. Where I work at a sort center, it's not mandatory that you work 50 hours or 40 hours or overtime. It's just you want to pick up the extra hours, cool. If you don't, normally during peak season, you're going to get 25 hours regardless if you pick up any extra hours or not, because every shift is going to be the maximum of 5 hours, something like that. But it isn't that bad, but you get paid every Friday, and a fulfillment center gets paid every 2 weeks. But as always, it's your boy Trevor, back with another little video. And I thought I would just hop on here and talk to you guys about Amazon sort center. Is it worth working there? I would say it is. If you need a job and you need something that's going to pay pretty decent, it's going to do the job, and you guys can't complain. If you're not working, get your ass up and get a job. Don't sit at home and go, I want a job, but you don't want that job. You can't pick and choose. Beggars can't be choosers.